Day. My name is Nick, and welcome to another episode of the Side Quest. Today's beer is Super Dry by Asahi. Now, this beer is very easy to find. It's very common. If you eat in Japanese restaurants, you've probably seen it, along with beers such as Sapporro and Kirin. But Asahi, for me, is like the quintessential Japanese beer, only because it's the one that I've seen the most, and I've actually had this a couple of times while eating out at like Japanese restaurants. Mainly had this during sushi days, or when I eat at a sushi restaurant. Also drank this a couple of times in Japan when visiting. So it's not a new beer, but it is the first time I'm actually looking at this critically, not just like drinking it just to have something with my food. I've never actually thought about what goes into this beer or how this beer tastes compared to a bunch of the other stuff I've had. Now, from what I remember, Asahi is a rice adjuncted lager. That's almost close to a pilsner, I think. Rice is mainly used to lighten the body, add some fermentable sugar, and it doesn't have a crazy strong taste, so it doesn't have a crazy strong flavor, so it's kind of good adjunct to have, so it doesn't throw off your malt bill. I haven't actually brewed with rice myself, but hopefully if I figure out how to use it, maybe I'll add it in and make like a rice beer, but I can't lager yet, so probably not a rice lager. But yeah, it's interesting to see what this beer is going to taste like now that I'm going to be critical of it. So let's pour this beer out and let's see how it tastes, and I'll be right back after the pour. That was a cool pour. I actually forgot to talk about this beer. So this is actually, this is brewed in Tokyo, and this is 5% ABV. So in this beer, there's water, malt, corn, rice, and hops. So I didn't really realize they use corn as well, but that's something new I never knew. So that's pretty interesting. Corn and rice kind of do the same thing, I think, except corn has a much stronger flavor. Yeah, I'm not too sure actually, so I should look that up. But I don't really use corn in my brewing, so it's not something I've actually had to come across a lot. Now, also, Hideki Matsuyama just won the Masters tournament for golf, so it's kind of cool that I'm doing this like right after his win. This is the week after Masters, and I think this comes out in like 2 weeks or a week. I'm not sure. But yeah, congrats to the first Japanese Masters champion. So let's take a look at this beer though. It's a really light color. It's like maybe straw, golden yellow. There wasn't that much carbonation coming out of the can, but it still looked pretty good. There's still bubbles coming up, and I can definitely see through this glass. It's super clear. I think that's one thing about using rice and corn. It kind of lightens the body and also clears up the beer as well. I think there's not a lot of protein. I think that's what kind of sometimes happens in like hazy style beers. Like there's a lot of proteins in suspension. It's not filtered. I think this one is though. I'm not too sure, but yeah, looks great. Yeah, it looks like a pilsner, like a light pilsner. So let's get a nose on it. It smells exactly how I remember an Asahi smelling. It smells like a pilsner, almost like, yeah, pretty much like a pilsner. There's a lot of that maltiness that's coming through. There's a little bit of hop, not a lot of like a little bit of hop, but not like super strong. Has that like quintessential beer smell, like basically like American light lagers, Budweiser, Bud Light, any of the American light lager varieties, pilsners, has that smell. And I'm pretty sure if you drink a lot, you know what it is, or if you drink American beers, you know what that smells like. But it smells great. I can't wait to drink it, so cheers. So the first thing that stands out to me is it's very clean, it's very crisp. It's not bitter at all on the finish, and it's slight. There's like a slight bitterness. It's not a lot. I wouldn't expect it out of this beer anyway, because Usually, like these kind of beers, these raw rice adjuncted lagers are aiming, corn and rice adjuncted lagers are aiming for that low bitterness, mainly because that's what a lot of people are looking for. They want like a nice malty, slightly malty beer, no bitterness, and it's just like refreshing and crisp. This is dry. It's not really, it doesn't like have any residual sugar, very well attenuated, and it just tastes great. I can see why a lot of people pair these with like a sushi, or even just like any kind of meal where you just want something light to complement your just complement whatever you're eating. Sushi is a very light dish. The rice and I guess the raw fish or whatever you put on your sushi is sort of not heavy. It's sort of delicate, right? And this beer would definitely go well with it. It doesn't really overpower the food as well. I can see why a lot of people drink this. This is sort of like just an easy 5% beer, just sort of like a Budweiser, Bud Light, something you can just have all the time, and it's good. I remember drinking this in Japan, and it almost tastes the same. I think I'm just remembering Japan's beers, the like rose-colored glasses, because I was there. We drank it out of tap, and it still tastes good. It's one of those things that I would probably stock this in my fridge if I just wanted something to drink, or even take it to the golf course and then just have it like inside of a cooler, just to drink on a hot day, which is almost every day here. So love Asahi's a great beer, and it's definitely something that I'm definitely gonna have to stock in my fridge from now on, for those times that I just kind of want something nice and crisp, easy drinking, and goes well with food. So thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like down below, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Asahi Super Dry is super clean and super refreshing.